Hi, for this study we're looking at some really cool legendary riffs that use the ninth note into the riff. We'll explain the theory later, but we're going to kick off with Alice Cooper's Poison. The riff something like this. Okay, so we're going to break it down. I'm going to teach you the riff, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a theoretical background on what it's all about and why it's called the ninth, and then we're going to go to the next song, which will be Every Breath You Take. But first we're going to look at Alice Cooper's Poison up close. It's based on a D power chord, and if you go into the theory, if you take into account the other chords, it actually is based from a D minor chord. So here's the note D, there's the fifth, and if you look at the tab sheet on the PDF, which you do need if you haven't got the PDF, pause the YouTube video and give me a WhatsApp and I'll send it through to you. And then resume, and again at the top we're looking at the 5-5-7-5, something like that. Now what's important over here is that we don't want the notes to ring at the same time, so this is bad. You can hear the notes ringing. You want to have the one note or the other note like this. So you can actually see when my ring finger number 3 comes down, my pointing finger, my index goes up, number 1. So you got that seesaw vibe. Now the next note after the 5 is a 9. Now the 9 that I'm speaking about in the add9 study has got nothing to do with the 9th fret. That's just a coincidence. Okay, so from the top now, definitely get your pinky working there, fret 9 on the 3rd string, and then you come back to the 5 again, then onto the 7 on the 3rd string. Just make sure you're on the right strings that it sounds the same, and back to the 5. So here's your first bar. Second bar, we're going to go to fret number 4 with the first finger, small movement, pick the 4, slide it to 5, and then flatten it down like that. So it's, and you play it twice because it's written down twice, and you finish off with 7-5 on the 5th string at the end of the riff. So the whole way through, super slow motion, something like this: 2 and 3 and 4 and try to make sure that you've only got one note ringing at a time. Now about the 9th chord itself, that's what we call it a 9th study, so it's a bit of theory in between. If you're not into the theory, just fast forward a bit. Okay, we're starting on D, that's a D note, D power chord. Here's the D major scale. That's 8 notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if I add the next note, that would be note number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that note is this note. Okay, the one we actually played with the pinky, sorry, wrong finger. Okay, right there. So what we're saying by add9 is we're playing a chord, in this case, like it says on the PDF, it's based on the D minor, and you're adding the 9th note from the major scale onto it. It's as simple as that. Now I don't want to get too much into theory because that's going to get boring. I just want you to get aware of what the 9th note sounds like, and then we're home dry. Okay, next up we're going to look at Police, Every Breath You Take. And Every Breath You Take. A lot of palm damping in this one. Clear sound as well. And I'm just playing the first 2 bars of Every Breath You Take as on your PDF. Now I'm going to zoom in again. We're going to talk our way through it. These chords are a little bit more in detail. And we're starting off over here with an A flat. Now this is an A flat bar chord. For those that do know bar chords, it should sound like this. And we spoke about the 9th note, so if I took the A flat major scale from there, there's the 9th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if I do this, there's my 9th note. Okay, so you're going to notice that as we work through the study, that the pinky normally plays the 9th note. It's just by the nature of the layout, I think. Now your first 4 notes are going to be like that. Okay, I made a mistake the first time round, last time was good. And it's basically 4, 6, there's the 9th, 8, 6. Then this one over here introduces a new note. And this is the note that separates the A flat major from an A flat minor. So, and from there he comes back to the 9th, onto the 5th. So it's got a bit more detail. He includes the 3rd note. So, and there's your 3rd I spoke about for the major. And you got your riff. Take it with me slowly. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I have seen 1 or 2 other different ways to play this arpeggio as well. So if you come across another channel and they've played their chords slightly differently, that's okay as well. I haven't actually watched Sting play this, so I'm not sure if this is the correct way, but the notes are correct, that I can promise you. And then the next chord is going to be the F minor. I'm going to go zoom in a bit further down the neck now. And this is going to sound like this. Now you can hear that note there, and you also notice I didn't use that middle finger as I did in the A flat. A flat, middle finger came in. On the F minor, I don't use that. I'm playing that over there, and you can see on the tab it's 1 3 5 3 1. That gives it the minor sound. So basically your major shape would have this as a bar chord, and if I minored it, I'd lose that note. Again, F, major, minor. So it's that note that's separating the majors from the minors. If you want more theory, let me know. I'll not climb into it, but right now it's more about the 9th note. We don't want to get too much into that. So put them together and you get something like this. Are you ready? 1 2 3 4 and. Just on the damping quickly, I want to quickly just zoom in on the damping hand there, and the muting hand. You can see my bridge up close over here. I'm putting the palm gently on the saddles. Those are the saddles, so when I'm playing, you can hear it's muted. If my hand comes too far forward like this, too far forward, it's dead. It's totally dead. If my hand is too far back, I've got no damping. So you want to get it sort of just slightly that you're over the string, that the string can move, that it can sound, but you can hear it's muffled. We got that. Okay, on to the next song, Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. We got the overdrive back on a bit there to get more of a grungy sound. And your tabs should sound something like this, starting from a C power chord. Now what's interesting about this, it's got that sort of add9 flavor, but it's actually not a 9th. So I thought I'd include it just so you can get an understanding of when am I listening to a 9th and when am I not listening to a 9th. Now for this one over here, unlike Poison where you went and you only wanted to hear 1 note, with Sweet Dreams you want to hear all the notes all the time. So you can hear that dissonance. And that's what he's going to get, that nightmare, sort of sweet dream nightmare vibe going. So for this one, keep the fingers down. For Poison by Alice Cooper earlier, 1 note at a time, and here we don't. And this over here, this note, this is the 5th, right? So I'm going to zoom in there quickly. And again, as we said, C5. If I add this note, which is a sharpened 5th or a flattened 6th, depending how I see it, we're going to see it as a flattened 6th because the 5th's already in play. There's the 5th, 1 5. So you've taken the 6th and you've flattened it. And we've got this. There's my flattened 6th. Notice how sort of similar the movements are. And you'll notice that all these songs over here have got a certain rhythmic similarity to them, which actually makes them a lacquer ink sort of finger exercise as well. And I really like the idea of getting the pinky working. So get your pinky working. It's 4 cool riffs. We're learning about add9s. We're learning we're not to play add9s, or when to recognize that they're not ninths, and we're getting your pinky working. Now on the second part of the riff, he goes to an A flat power chord from fret 4, and he's got a cool little slide, and he slides 2 frets there to get that sixth, and then the last one, the G, he slides again just once to give you that flattened sixth. So your Sweet Dream by Marilyn Manson should sound something like this: 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then to wrap up, we're going to look at Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train, because anything without Randy Rhoads could be quite sad. And as mentioned, we're going to finish off with Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. Just the basic introduction with a slightly shortened version. And what's interesting with this over here is that the note choice in a different key for Sweet Dreams, this over here, and the note choice for Crazy Train are actually sort of the same, they're just in different keys, and they've got a very different feel. So if you feel you've got a riff that you really like and it's maybe too much like the original, try slowing it down, try letting the notes ring, play around with it. Sometimes you can make something familiar sound really different. Okay, and let's zoom in and see what's happening with the riff itself. This one's also not an add9, so it hasn't got, that should be the ninth over here, but it hasn't got a ninth. It's again got that same flattened sixth vibe or sharpened fifth that we spoke about in Sweet Dreams. But slow motion, get the pinky working, and here again you can see that same seesaw movement, that same technical sort of application that we spoke about when we did Poison as well. So one more time, fingers, whatever finger is down, the other finger lifts. You can see that sort of alternating over there the whole way through. And slow motion, we're going to have this. And I like putting pinch harmonics in as well. You can hear that pinch harmonic kicking on that 4 over there. You don't have to do it, but I think it sounds pretty sweet. Okay, so one last time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit of vibrato, I think Randy Rhoads might maybe appreciate as well. And also on the last 2 chords, because this actually goes through quite a few times before this goes, and then he has that whole sort of rhythm section there as well. We're not going to look into that. It's more about a pinky study for today. But these 2 chords, E and E, that's basically just the leading to say you finish with the intro, you're now going into the verse. So what I want you to try and do is get this riff 4 times. Like that. So on the 4th time you drop in the bar chord or power chord, sorry, of the D and the E. And that brings us to the end of the study. So basically, to summarize, when they say add a ninth, they're taking a basic chord like a D for Poison, and they count up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They take that 9, that's over there, and they add the 9 to the chord. So add 9 means you got a chord, add the 9th. Okay. Same as with, we did that song by Sting. We had your A flat. We also went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We took it 9th, and we did. Sounds quite cool with a bit of overdrive, eh? But bottom line is, add 9 means you're adding on the 9th note of the major scale. That's your theory lesson of the whole thing. And practically over here, get your pinky working and get your thumb dropped. Make sure your hands are nice and open. And if you've got any questions or need a copy of the PDF, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Always happy to help. Have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed day. Take care. Cheers.